Shalom, 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 everyone. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in live. I appreciate all of you. Want to make sure I got here on time tonight. So we right on time. Everything's going good. Hopefully that means tonight's going to be a great night. Also, what else? Again, the name of the show is My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. My name is Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham. I am a rabbi at Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. At our congregation, we focus on Torah, knowledge, and understanding. And that's what is composed of on this show as well. I try to give y'all everything from a Torah's point of view. Tonight's show is going to be stepping out there. I'll explain it to you once we get to our main part. But before we get to that, I want to go over our agenda for tonight. So for tonight, we want to have our main event, which is going to be dealing with the power in the blood. Is there power in the blood? This is one from my people in Christendom. I know you all will appreciate this. So we're going to really get into this. Going to take our time and focus on the different scriptures. Should be able to get through his whole video. His whole video is only about 7.5 to 8 minutes long. So we should be able to make it through his whole video. And I'm going to stop, of course, and look at scriptures and go from there. Then, of course, last week we had our current of the month. So this week we're right back with our breaking news. And I got a lot of stories to bring you from the breaking news. Some stories was from last week and, of course, from this week. So the majority of our show tonight, we're going to be focused on breaking news and, of course, the main event, which is power in the blood. Power in the blood. And, of course, we got our artist of the week, the Little Israelites, Little Israelite music. These youngsters are amazing to me. I really love this song. So this is going to be our artist of the week again, especially being as though we are in the time of Sukkot. So we're going to talk a little bit about Sukkot as well, so you can understand what Sukkot is about. Rabbi Schneider, the one who we will be critiquing tonight, he spoke about Yom Kippur, which was last week. And now this week we are in Sukkot. So I'm going to give you a little idea of that. I had a little video that I wanted to show concerning Sukkot, but I didn't get a chance to put it together in the way that I would want to. So we'll see. I might still try to show it. It's live, people. That's what happens when it's live. We can do all kind of things. So if we finish up early, then I'll go ahead and focus and try to show it. All right. So with that being said and done, we're going to go right into our breaking news. And our breaking news is many stories tonight for the breaking news. So we're going to get into it. Here's our breaking news. All right, so Our first breaking news story is one that hit me really hard. Um, was actually around this neighborhood the other day, which was kind of eerie. And then when they popped up on the news, I'm like, huh? But it was a mass shooting at Morgan State University. So I'm like, well, I gotta talk about that. You know, I'm an alumni of Morgan State University. Um, so it kind of really hit me when it happened, and then it happened homecoming weekend. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm going to talk about that. And here's a clip from last night. Like I said, it was eerie because I wasn't that far from Morgan. So when I seen it pop up on the news, I'm like, that shooting? What are you talking about? But let's hear more about that for those of y'all who may have missed this headline.
To breaking news overnight, a mass shooting at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland. Faith Abube is there on the scene and has the latest for us. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning to you, Robin. Police have lifted that shelter-in-place order here at Morgan State University. They say 5 people were shot, 4 of them students. They all survived, but the shooting incident left this campus community terrified for hours.
Now, the crazy thing about it, and I'm not sure if they're going to get into it in this clip, but the people who were shot were not even the intended targets. Imagine that. You trying to shoot somebody and you can't even hit the person you're trying to shoot. You shoot all these innocent bystanders. I don't understand what's going on with our people. Like, this second time something like this happened in Baltimore. It happened down in Brooklyn as well, and where they was having an event that they normally have every year. They called it Brooklyn Day. These guys decided that, hey, we just want to shoot it up. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And just to think that this happened, yeah, it's crazy, right? Crazy, Aki. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Just to think that this happened twice in Baltimore. Like, what is going on here? Hey, what's going on with these mass shootings? You know, we normally say, well, brothers and sisters don't do mass shootings, you know, and even though these guys, quote unquote, aren't doing a mass shooting, the guys last night was trying to hit people that they missed and hit innocent people. And seemingly the same thing happened in Brooklyn, you know, and it's just like, but, you know, of course it gets framed as a mass shooting because a lot of people get shot. Luckily, none of them died. Please keep them in your prayers. I'm going to let them finish telling us exactly what took place.
Overnight, gunfire erupting on the campus of Morgan State University in Baltimore in the middle of homecoming week celebrations. Students and alumni running for cover in nearby buildings, telling us they heard multiple rounds of gunfire around 9:30 p.m.
And the crazy thing about it, Aki, right? They trying to fix up Morgan area. Like, they got a lot of new stores and all kind of things opened up for the students. You would think it's just so nice around there, and then stupid stuff like this happens that make it seem like, okay, you black people can't have nothing nice. Like, it really looked nice in that area, all the building and stuff that they did, just so some people who not even students there can cause some kind of ruckus like this. This is ridiculous.
Everybody just kind of started screaming and alerting the people next to them that there was an active shooter and that we should all kind of like brace ourselves.
It was terrifying because I'm away from home.
According to police, the shooting wounded at least 5 people, all of them with non-life-threatening injuries. But no arrest immediately reported, the FBI joining the investigation. Emergency alerts triggering a shelter-in-place order for the entire campus.
Yeah, they locked the campus down last night. That's what came across the news for us. It was like Morgan State campus is on lockdown. It's an active shooter. And it gave the idea that it was somebody running through Morgan with a gun trying to just kill as many people. That's the first thing pop in your mind when you hear active shooter. Later on, you find out it was people who had an altercation with each other, and one group began to shoot at the other group, and they just couldn't shoot. So you find that out later. But at the time, when it said active shooter, the first thing you think about is, oh my goodness, is somebody running through the halls of Morgan shooting students? Like, what is going on? Is one of the students had a mental breakdown? School just started back up when he had a mental breakdown and said, I gotta run through the halls and shoot people? Like, that's the first thing pop in your mind until you hear the whole story.
Marshall Hall. They're in that high rise. That is the location of the suspected shooters.
Officers seen storming the historically black college.
And now this put other people in danger, because as they storm and going from dorm room to dorm room looking for an active shooter, you got these black students, you see this young man, he got his phone in his hand recording because he don't know what can take place. They can say gun, and think he got a gun to shoot him. All because of some clowns.
Dramatic video capturing SWAT teams clearing room by room. First responders taking victims out on stretchers.
I just really try to initiate everybody to get in there, get away from the windows, because our student center has a lot of big windows.
Baltimore's mayor speaking out earlier this morning.
When is enough going to be enough?
Exactly.
When will the sanctity of American lives outweigh the sanctity of American guns?
Now, I don't like to say it like it's this gun law agenda thing being ran. This wasn't that type of situation. This situation was some fools in the hood that aren't going to get guns the legal way anyway. Think about it. They talking about stopping people from getting guns legally. Right. We got to stop these people from getting these guns legally. These guys who shot these guns last night probably don't got no guns legally. They probably bought it from out the back of somebody's trunk. They don't care nothing about no law you pass about stopping guns if they buying it illegally. Who you really affected with that? But then it's like that's the narrative that's now pushed, and that's what they took from him. I heard another thing from the mayor where he said a lot more than just that. But that's what the national news took out, because they want to push this gun law agenda instead of dealing with the situation at hand.
And that shooter remains on the run this morning. University officials have canceled classes all day out of an abundance of caution. They say they'll reassess plans for the rest of the homecoming week celebration. Michael.
All right, Faith, you heard the mayor say, when is enough enough? Thank you so much for bringing that to us.
Yeah, George Stephanopoulos. So that was our headline news. That was the main thing we wanted to get into. It was a lot more news that I wanted to cover. I want to find out more about this. If anybody knows more about this, this is something that I got off Facebook. Now, as you see, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if she's at some kind of store. I totally agree with you on that. They need to do better at policing the area. There was security. Exactly. There's normally security all around the area. I'm telling you, the area is nice, Aki. Like, and to have something like this happen, it just put a bad stain on the whole thing, because when you go up there, you see how nice the area is. They got Georgia Peach up there. They done open up all these new restaurants up there where you like, oh man, it's like, okay, they got all these good restaurants up here. Everything's nice. You know, And then something like this happens. And it just puts a stain on the whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, Morgan, oh, this bad. Oh, don't go to Morgan, it's bad. Oh no. Like, what is going on? But anyway, this is something I came across and I was trying to find out more about it. Now, it's some place called Peckham Hair and Cosmetics. And I'm not sure if he thought this young lady was stealing, but apparently she still had the basket in her hand with the stuff. And he ran up and began to choke her. Like, he is choking the mess out of her. So much so that she gonna start hitting him with the basket. I'm gonna rewind this and let y'all see this. Like, she's in the store. It looks like she's trying to talk to people about something. Don't really know what's taking place, what's happening. But we gonna see him come out of nowhere and just start attacking her. And she's going to hit him with the basket, and he's going to be grabbing her by her throat. And I was just like, what is going on here? Like, this is just crazy to me. And I tried to find out more information on it, but I couldn't find anything. But this is the account.
Look. I'm going to call the police. Babe! Fucking no, thank you, recording.
And the lady, she telling whoever to record it, then she telling the lady whoever to call the police. But we see him just manhandling her.
Call the police. Call the fucking police. This is what this is, babe. I'm calling the police. Babe, this man put his neck on me. This man just strangled me right now. Just get off me. This man just strangled me. Get the fuck off me.
So whatever it is was at Peckham Hair and Cosmetics. If anybody has any information on it, knows anything about what's going on, you know. But I wanted to bring it up last week, but I knew that our Karen of the month was going to take a minute, so I didn't get to get into it. Yeah, but that's that one. All right, next. I just got two more things. Next, this is something that I was going to talk about last week as well. This issue right here.
Hey, what the f*** is your...
Now, apparently, this guy was getting into his car. He was getting into his car, and he locked himself out. Now, I locked myself out my car before. So I know the feeling. My car was at the gas station. I locked myself out. I couldn't get in. The window was slightly open. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't get in my car. And it's a crazy feeling. And I remember going to this funeral home that was right across the street from the gas station. And they gave me a hanger. I'm sitting there with the hanger, jingling it in, trying to try to pull the little knob up so I can unlock the car. That's what so you know it's one of them old cars. And I'm sitting there trying to do that. And I can imagine if the police would pull up on me and say, hey, you buddy, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to get my car. And if they don't believe you. So evidently, this young man has a car. It must be a nice car for them to be acting like this with him. But he's trying to get into his own car, and the cops are trying to arrest him. And everybody around is telling him that, hey, it's his car. It's his car. And they just ignoring them as if they're not even there. And I was just like, wow, this was mad crazy.
He was getting in his own car. Let him go. Hey, bro, look. Hey, let him go. Use my car. Let him go. Hey, let him go. They already tried. Let him go. Hey, let him go. Oh, weak as hell. Live. I'm recording y'all. Hey, what y'all on?
Now, the whole thing is crazy. I don't know what to say. It's crazy. It's his car. He was trying to get it. I don't know if he has some kind of problems or something like that. How do you lock yourself out of a car these days? Any car would not even lock with the key in it. Oh, yeah, nowadays. So that's what I was saying. I don't know what kind of car he had, because I remember, like you said, with my car, I remember getting out, the key was right there in the chair. I said, oh my goodness, boy, that joke was a hurting feeling. You looking at the key, then you don't want to leave because somebody might just bust your window and take your key and drive off. And you sit there like, y'all gotta get into this car. So I don't know if that's what happened in this situation. But whatever situation was, it was his car. I personally might would have just been like, okay, whatever y'all want to do, because I know it's my car. I'm not even going to go through all of this with you and go through the struggle and the fight and all that. I know we got some of our younger brothers and sisters out here that feel like, no, and you're not going to do this to me, and I'm going to stand firm and fight. But as we see with these people, sometimes standing firm and fighting, you can lose your life. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you don't want to just let people violate you. But at the same time, you don't want to put yourself in jeopardy. So we got to think about that, sisters. I understand it's his car. Everybody upset. You're going to see where they going to get mad. At one point, they was about to fight the police right up there with him. I was like, yeah, it's getting to a point where people getting tired and everybody, like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to let y'all say it for yourself. The one dude going to run up there on him and try to fight the police. But then when his boys come, he going to just walk down real quick like he ain't do nothing. Watch this. Watch this.
And we should beat that.
You hear him? Dude said we should beat him. So they talk to watch it. Say they want to get the popo. So that see the guy grabbing him, the guy grabbing the other guy like, get up my cousin, right? And then he tried to break it up and stop him. Then he grabbing the other one. Then when the other police came, see how he walked down the steps real quick?
Let him go. They laugh.
No, that boy doesn't look back at that part again. I want y'all to see. Look at him. He was ready. He was like, get up my cousin. That's my cousin. Get up my cousin. Yeah, you too, get up my cousin. Oh, man, let me get down there and get locked up.
He was trying to get his own car. Let him go. They laugh.
This was a lot of force, and they was determined. And it do seem like one person pointed out before, it's like once the police get their mind made up, they want to do something. It's like you trying to stop them is futile because they got their mind made up and they feel like if they show any sign of weakness or that they might have made a mistake, it make it look like they not in control, and they got to always be in control. And that's what we see in this situation, where clearly they got an idea that we probably wrong, but oh well, we doing it now, so we gonna go with it.
Get these motherfuckers on tape. Look at these motherfuckers.
Watch him, he about to pull his gun on him.
Get off my cousin. That was his own car. You dumb motherfucker. That's his own car.
No, he got the gun. See him got the gun out right there.
Right. Hey. That was his car. You stupid motherfucker. That's his own car. Dumb. You That's his car.
And the crazy thing is, everybody is telling you that's his car. That's the part that's crazy, right? And it's like you got your mind made up that you right and you don't care what they say. Now, I don't know if he going to be able to get out of this thing because, I think he should just be like, you know what? Whatever, it's my car. I know it's my car. There's nothing you can do. It's my car. So we go to court. They're going to say you was breaking into a car. I'm going to say, yes, it was my car. They go, all my credentials. This is my car. And I'm going to say, peace out. You know, so the thing you don't want to do is get them stuff where they can get other things on you. So, like, is this your car? But now they can get you with resisting, fighting. They can tackle so many other things where they can get you. So, yeah, that might have been your car, but you resisted and you fought me and you did this, that, and the other to me. So it's like, what you gonna do? It's best if he just would have been like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go through the hassle of trying to fight this. I know it's my car. Go ahead and lock me up. Once I get out on my own reconnaissance, I'm going to turn around, go to court, show that it's my car, and then I'm going to be done. Yeah, it's an inconvenience, but you don't want to tack up stuff where now they can say he was resisting, he was fighting, he was doing this. They can throw so many other things on, you know, just because of this.
Hell yeah, I got the on live. I got.
I'm going to give you the rest of the details, but before I do, I want to just say this. Name calling, shouting, yelling, calling the cops stupid. Not helpful, but true. What are we supposed to do with these people? Detroit police officials investigating this video from a Facebook Live showing 2 Detroit officers wrestling with a black man for breaking into a vehicle as a crowd shouts to let him go. That vehicle, as the crowd repeatedly says, belongs to the man. Detroit Police Chief James White said Monday the officers were patrolling the area when they spotted the man trying to break into a car using a tool fashioned to open locked vehicles. The Detroit News with the details. One officer asked the subject for his name, and the subject refused to provide it. White said in a statement, for reasons that are not entirely clear, it appears that other individuals at the location were encouraging the subject not to provide his name. I didn't see that part of the footage.
Yeah, this is when they begin to make up stuff. That's what I'm saying. Once they know they can't get you with what they was trying to get you with, now it's let's make up stuff. Nobody didn't say don't give them your name. They just kept yelling, it's his car.
Maybe they have body cam. Well, for now, we'll just have to take the police statement.
No, I can't take that statement. I'm sorry. I don't believe. No, I can't take that statement.
Police word for it. Yeah. Okay. Officer then informed the subject that he was being detained. Subject then became extremely irate. And there came a point when he appears to direct another individual to let a pit bull loose against the officers.
What happened? What was going on here? Yo. Hold on. That did not happen. Oh my goodness. He said let a pit bull loose on him. Oh my goodness. Seriously? Oh my goodness.
Subject then became extremely irate. And there came a point when he appears to direct another individual to let a pit bull loose against the officers.
Wow.
Now I wonder why they wouldn't release that. Wouldn't they release that in their body cam footage and stuff? I didn't see any of that. One point after the initial officers called for backup, the officers who were there pinned the man to the ground, restricting his breathing as he resists the arrest. An officer also draws his firearm to threaten the crowd.
Yeah, he did do that.
Same officer later shows off his bite wound from the man to the crowd as they're trying to explain the man's story to the other officers, to which they remind him that he was choking the man. Now, the man, as seen in the video, locked himself out of his car and attempted to re-enter it. Officers attempted to handcuff the man who was wearing a Black Lives Matter hoodie. After he ran onto a porch of a house, one officer was even seen on the footage pummeling the man as they grabbed him. Atlanta Black Star filling in more for us. As the scuffle escalates, the officers request backup, and within minutes, 2 more officers arrive on the scene. One officer draws his firearm in an attempt to control the crowd. Despite their efforts, the crowd continues to tell them they are making a mistake. He, the man, was arrested but not charged. 2 of the officers are on administrative duties during the ongoing investigation. This is, more ludicrous behavior. Okay? If this weren't so serious and disruptive and violent.
Look how he put the hoodie over his head, though. Like, what was that about? Like, y'all actually put the hoodie over his head, like, oh my goodness.
That's helpful. Yeah. Okay. But it's violent. And if it weren't so disgusting, it would almost be a not so funny old SNL skit. Someone with a hanger trying to, a black man, and then everybody swarms him, asks questions. Nope, we'll just arrest him and beat him up in the process. That's how dippy, dumb, ludicrous this is.
Yes, it is.
These are the best and the brightest, the heroes. All you do is say, hey, what are you doing? Can we help? And if he was not a criminal, he might have said, sure, I'm locked out, officers. Do you maybe have a way to help? Isn't that the way it's supposed to work, Yasmin? Or I guess not anymore. Not ever.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you introduce guns into a situation, all of a sudden, any kind of normal modes of communication go out the door. I don't think I would be able to communicate effectively with somebody who I knew was coming at me in a threatening way with a gun in his pocket, right? And you mentioned earlier that we just have to take the cop's word for what happened. But since when is a cop's word more valuable than what we can actually literally see with our own eyes on video? You know, whenever white people say things like, oh, Black people should just comply with the cops, Black people are literally just trying to exist in this world the way that anyone else would. This is a very relatable experience and situation that this guy was in, getting locked out of your own car. I cannot even imagine being handcuffed in front of my own house, trying to get into my own car. And not just handcuffed, but as you said, it was a very violent scene. This man was attacked. He was physically assaulted by cops who were packing deadly heat. And even with the bystanders attempting to explain that this was his own car, the cops still chose to escalate the conflict even after they were informed that there actually is no conflict at all. And how many cops were there? You know, like, and Republicans want to talk about how police budgets aren't big enough. How many cops were needed at the scene when nothing was happening?
Yeah, and this was in Detroit, okay? Henry Louis Gates could tell us it happens everywhere, okay? No matter what you've achieved. Remember? Wasn't the professor just trying to get into his own house? Okay, forgot his key, locked himself out, whatever.
Wow, see how they came back home. See, brought that right back home with him. Hey, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
If you approach someone and just ask some questions, it's better for everyone involved. You're right. Don't tell me I should comply. Whether you comply or not, you'll probably be taken to the ground. Is this safe for officers, this kind of behavior? Is it even safe for them? No. We'll keep following that one. No charges. Okay, lawsuit time.
Exactly. No charges. Ain't that something? After all that, no charges. All right, and this is the last one. And for this last one, I just wanted to remind you guys of something. So, remember when I did that current of the month for August, and we said it was the country or the city of Dubai? Remember that? Remember the city of Dubai? Well, guess who is still doing crazy stuff to women? Guess who? Dubai. Y'all know I was crazy. I said, I'm not going over there. And I advise other people not to go there. And it's like, oh, what? I'm going to Dubai. I'm going to Dubai. Well, look at what happened to this young lady when she went to Dubai.
A NYC female student sentenced to 1 year in Dubai. What did she do? Elizabeth de los Santos.
Now, this sister is an Hispanic sister. She went over to Dubai. Remember, other people try to talk about our sister. Tiara. Oh, she a difficult black woman. And all this, I was all them pro-black dudes. It was from the red pill. Oh, the black woman need to learn. The black woman need to learn. And all this mess, right? Well, what about her? This Hispanic woman needed to learn too. As I try to tell y'all, wasn't just her. This stuff that happens all the time over there. And it's happened particularly to women. It's like they hate the women over there. These foreign women that's coming over to their country and their city. They don't like you. And they looking to be able to do anything to you. And watch when you see why this young lady has to do a year in jail in Dubai. And already lost thousands of dollars trying to get defense to fight against these charges. But I tried to tell y'all without Karen of the month. I said, let me remind y'all, because y'all might have forgot about the Karen of the month dealing with Dubai. Y'all might be like, well, I don't remember that. He did a Karen of the month dealing with Dubai. Yeah, it's right there. Y'all want to check out the video for those of y'all who didn't get to see it. I did a Karen of the month dealing with Dubai. And when you go to my web, to the YouTube, this is how it will look. Let me see. Let's not pull it up. Hold on. Let me pull it up. There we go. I want y'all to see this. This is how it looks. Karen of the month is in Dubai. And that's our Karen of the month for August. Our Karen of the month for August was dealing with Dubai. Right? And it was dealing with what was going on at Dubai. And as I just said, they're at it again. So let's hear what happened.
A NYC female student sentenced to 1 year in Dubai. What did she do?
What did she do?
Elizabeth De Los Santos, 21-year-old NYC student facing a 1-year sentence in a Dubai prison. It's following 3 months of detainment for touching the arm of an airport security guard.
She touched the arm of an airport security guard. Just look, this is touch. Just touched. That was enough to send her to jail for a year. But y'all want to keep going to these places. Y'all want to keep going. Y'all ain't learn. Y'all want to keep going to these places. Oh, yes, Dubai. It's Dubai. Okay, it's Dubai.
After being told she would need to remove a post-surgical garment, she reached out and touched a guard's arm while pleading for help from a friend.
How harmless is that? They told her she had something that was on because of surgery she had. They told her she had to take it off. She touched his arm, asking for help from a friend so she could take it off. And because she touched his arm, he want to press charges and send her to jail. But y'all still, I'm keep telling y'all, if y'all ain't heard nothing from me, stay out of Dubai. Stay out of Dubai. Stay out of Dubai.
This would come to cost her upwards of $50,000 in expenses and a prison sentence. Los Santos' ordeal began on July 14th as she and a friend were heading home to New York from a vacation in Istanbul. Their initial itinerary had them connecting home through Paris, but they changed the flight to transfer in Dubai so they could see the famous city during a 10-hour layover.
So, their initial itinerary had them connected to Paris. They should have just went to Paris. But no, Everybody want to see Dubai. Oh, I want to see Dubai. Oh, see Dubai. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, Dubai. Dubai, man. Bump Dubai. Them people don't love you over there. You want to go to Dubai to check out the city and say, yeah, we can hang out in Dubai, and then this happens.
New York Post has the story. While passing through security, Dubai airport staff requested that Los Santos remove a waist compressor she was required to wear after a recent surgery. Shown to a private booth, female staff members removed the compressor, but Los Santos' mother told detained in Dubai they were rough. They hurt her daughter, still healing from those surgery scars.
So they took the stuff off of her that she had to wear because of the surgery. And they seen she had the scars that she was healing. So they clearly can see she not lying. But they don't care. Watch what they did. Watch this part. Watch what they did.
They also laughed at her.
They laughed at her. So she's in pain and embarrassed, and they laughed. Think about that one. They laughed. This was humorous to them. But y'all still want to go there. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go over to Dubai. Okay. Better watch my special about Dubai. I'll be going next year to visit my brother, Paul. I will be going next year to visit my brother, Paul, who now lives there and business are cheap there. I guess I won't take my mother with me. Hey, don't take no woman with you. You can go there, I can probably can get away with some things. No, don't take no woman with you. Because we see clearly they do not like the women at all. Oh, I wouldn't even trust myself going there because I feel like you can't be you there. You gotta keep remembering I'm here. They don't like me. Let me just do what they tell me to do. I don't got time to go to places like that because I'm not that kind of person. Somebody make me mad, I want to be able to express I'm mad, not I express that I'm angry and now I'm getting locked up. If I want that kind of, I might as well stay here and just go through what we go through here. But it's even worse there. So I don't know, Aki, but you real mellow, so it'd probably be all right for you. I'm not mellow. It won't work for me. So Dubai don't ever gotta worry about me coming, giving them any kind of money ever, even though I know they don't care. I don't care neither. We both don't care. They don't care, and I don't care. And I'm going to try to tell any and everybody, don't go. Don't go. Don't go, Aki. I know you say you want to go. Don't go, Aki. I don't want to hear no bad story later. Don't go. Shoot. It says they also laughed at her. And when she asked for help to put the complicated garment back on, they refused. So they wouldn't even help her to put the garment back on that they made her take off. And they laughed.
When she asked for help to put the complicated garment back on, they refused. I was feeling uncomfortable and afraid. I felt really violated, Los Santos said. As staff continued to ignore her pleas for help, Los Santos leaned past the security guard, blocking her way, and called out for her friend to come and help her.
So they refuse to help her. They laugh and they don't care. She leans over to ask her friend to come and help and touches this dude. And this dude's such a chump. That, oh, she touched me. Oh, she hurt me so bad. Oh, I'm so weak in the body. She hurt me. I gotta call. I gotta get her locked up. I'm so... Get out of here. You's a clown. He's a clown. Somebody lean over to look past you to tell somebody to come get them help. And that hurts you so bad that you gotta get them locked up. You's a clown. This is what's showing me. It just showing me people in Dubai are clowns. It is what it is. What is going on here? This is stupid.
I gently touched her arm to guide her out of the way, then desperately started crying to my friend for help. She told detained in Dubai.
And then it was, so this wasn't even a man. This was another woman. Wow. So she touched her arm to look and ask for help. And oh my goodness, boy. This is ridiculous.
Los Santos was then detained in a room for hours as the security guard she touched filed a complaint against her and wasn't allowed to leave until she signed a form written in Arabic.
So then you got her signing something. She don't even know what she's signing. But you telling her, if you want to leave, you got to sign this. Which probably meant y'all was lying and tricking her, but she just wants to leave. So she like, okay, I'll sign whatever y'all want. Then once she signed it, that could have been a confession. We don't know what the world it was, because if you don't understand Arabic, then how you know what you signing? This is ridiculous. I thought this was a guy security guard, so this was the woman security guard that did all this stuff. This is ridiculous. But this is where y'all want to go.
When she returned to the airport later to catch her flight to New York, she was informed of the travel ban filed against her and was forced to remain in the country until the charges against her were heard in court.
So then they lied, told her if you sign a document that was in Arabic that you can leave. Then she go to leave and find out, oh, we got a ban on you. You can't go nowhere. He said, probably a jealous woman. The women there don't look attractive. Oh, the women there don't look attractive, Aki. Oh, so she was upset. So she decided, okay, you want to touch me? I'm going to get you. This is ridiculous. After she stayed in a hotel for weeks, the judge allowed her to pay 10,000 AED, which is about 2,700 U. See, look how they getting paid. They getting paid, I keep telling them, y'all gonna, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. He be like, hey, you gonna pay these thousands of dollars or you gonna be stuck here. I got some stuck here, buddy, because I'm not paying you nothing. You gotta worry about me. I'm not giving you a jack. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So they told her to pay this and be on her way. But then the prosecutors appealed the ruling and she was sentenced a year in prison on Monday. So after all that, even after paying all that money, so this is the second time they lied to her. Oh, now if you just pay us this money, we're going to let you go. She paid the money. Nope, we still not letting you go. You're going to have to stay here for a year and be in jail. What? Give my money back. Give my money back. Give my money back. What's going on here? I need my money. Run me my dough. Run me my dough. What is going on here?
After she had to stay in hotels for weeks, the judge allowed her to pay $10,000, about $2,700 US, and be on her way. But Dubai prosecutors appealed the ruling.
Look at this.
And she was finally sentenced to a year in prison.
After you paid all that
U.S.
money.
State Department has only stated on Sunday that they are aware of the detainment of a U.S. citizen in Dubai, but no further comments.
Same thing they did with Tiara. We are aware. We are aware. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing to them. Y'all love them, the Emirates. Them Emirate people. Yeah, man. Y'all love them. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Like, we're aware that somebody's detained. And that's it. Again, it's those people from London with the detained in Dubai people, they the ones that's helping. They actually got an organization called Detained in Dubai. That's the name of the organization. Same organization that helped Tiara is the same one that's trying to help this young lady, Los Santos. Ridiculous.
Detained in Dubai, a UAE civil and criminal justice specialist
They the
organization
ones that help.
has been
US ain't doing
advocating for
shit.
Los Santos and calling for her immediate release. Its founder, Raja Sterling, comments.
This sister right here from London be fighting for the women and other people that get detained in Dubai. She be fighting for them. America be like, we all aware. And that's the end of that. Biden and I'm sitting somewhere chilling. We aware. And that's the end of that. So go over there at your own risk.
Elizabeth only
America
intended to
just want to
transit
be aware
through
that
Dubai
you're
for
there.
6 hours, but she's been there for months on end and has lost $50,000 in expenses and lawyers' costs.
$50,000.
She's now been told she has a 1-year prison sentence, but that if all goes well, she will only be detained until she.
Exactly. He said, nope. They take our passport and they use it to travel in and out of the U.S. for a year. It's a business. Oh, so yes. Oh, so they gonna use her passport? Have somebody pretending to be her, probably that lady who arm she touched. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Aki. I'm sorry. This ridiculous.
She can book a flight out of the UAE. On top of being humiliated, traumatized by airport staff, Elizabeth has suffered months of being forced to stay in an expensive country, pay expensive lawyers, and miss out on her university studies. Is this the kind of transport hub that people would want to choose? She's not the only U.S. citizen who has fallen foul of the country's backwards justice system.
Exactly. Backwards, upside down. He said, yup, backwards, upside down. All kind of whatever. The joint is crazy. The joint is crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. So I tried to warn y'all. I told y'all last month with the current of the month, don't go there. There's going to be people, this probably not going to be the last time we're going to hear about somebody being detained in Dubai. There's people hard-headed.
Detained in Dubai. As I said, Mayor, this is a scary one. It sounds like one that was a bit panic-filled. You know, you have a young woman traveling internationally, place she's never been, uncomfortable, post-surgery. And according to these details, those who were in charge seemed to take glee, delight in her discomfort, and then wanted to do more. What do you make of that? I've never been to Dubai. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, listen, I'm always cautious of telling people, especially my sisters or any women that I'm related to or care about, traveling certain places just because of things like this that can happen. This is unrealistic, unbelievable for people who probably were coming back from a great vacation, thinking they had a time to enjoy something that they've seen on social media that looks beautiful. But everything that looks beautiful is not, and also you need to be careful. I'm not riding up, and I don't have the experience to say that their legal system is backwards. I would say though there's a high tolerance for Americans being locked up in these countries, and people sometimes, we've seen entertainers and musicians go over there and have a prescription pill, and be locked up for carrying drugs. I just tell people, just be careful when you're traveling outside of countries and understand, one, their culture, but also their laws and their history. I tell people I'm not interested in going to China, for instance, because I know the high tolerance for seeing a dark-skinned Black person be abused or sexually molested over there. So I have.
And he's right when he brought up about China. Because I remember right before they said all the Asians was getting attacked over here, I remember when COVID happened, and they was randomly just walking up to Black people over in China and beating on them as if they brought COVID over there to them. And I remember that. And I was like, wow, they beating the mess out of these Black people like that. Right? And then I guess when some Black people over here decided to do it to the ones over here. Then they say, oh, we got to pass this bill and say it's black people attacking them. And this, that, and the other. Not even focusing on what was happening over there. So I agree with you with that, fam. You right about that. I wouldn't be going to any of them places. I'm sorry. I'm good. I don't have no time to deal with other people who want to be able to show these people, you guys too easy on blacker people. I'm going to show you how to really treat them. And then they do something crazy, and then I'm sitting back like, dang, did they just do this to me? What is going on here? Or to make an example? No. I'm good.
No interest of being in that country. So I tell people all the time, before you go places, because of you've seen it on Instagram and some people doing it, make sure you understand where you are in the culture and the laws, because I couldn't even wrap my head around this idea that you made someone remove a medical device simply to laugh and then watch them suffer through trying to be redressed, and then you literally charge them in a language that you know they don't understand. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if that would happen to them over here, it'd be the end of the world, and America be bending that back. We gotta help them out. We gotta do this and that and another for them. But over there, it's like, oh, I'm aware of what's going on. What? Let that happen over here. And they get upset and be like, I can't believe you Americans did this and that. They'd be trying to break their neck to do whatever for them. But the opposite happened over there, and it's like, okay, we just got to deal with it. It's part of life. What?
Yes, it's unbelievable. It is, as you said, scary, but I think you're right. Everything that's shiny and everybody has a story. Oh,
everything that glitter ain't gold.
Do your homework. If you're going to take that long flight,
don't go.
Do your homework
don't even
first.
do your homework. Just don't go.
I'm not blaming her. Okay, she's supposed to have a layover and build this fascinating, money-filled, magical place, and now she just wants to get home. Caution.
Ridiculous. So that took up a lot of our time. Just wanted to get through all of those breaking news events. Hopefully you all were informed. I try to find different things that will enlighten you, and these are the different stories that I found for this week. It was other things as well, but those will go on a cut for next week. So now what we're going to do is get into our artists of the week. And after we deal with our artists of the week, we're going to get into what you all logged on to see. We're going to get into our main event. So I had our artist of the week, and right after the artist of the week, we're going to have our main event. Power in the Blood. new moon? How do we keep the new moon? How do we keep the new moon? Little Israelites. I'm trying to tell you, little Israelites. Oh man, yeah, I really, really appreciate that. So as y'all know, a lot of stuff gets sent to me to speak on, and that's where a lot of stuff come to, because I ask you all that if you have a story or something you want me to talk about, to send it to me. So I want to make sure I get all of y'all stuff on here. I don't want to make you be like, well, I sent that to him a couple of weeks ago. He ain't say nothing about it. So definitely, that was another reason why we had all those news accounts and our breaking news, because I wanted to touch on not just the stuff that I saw, but stuff that other people sent me. And I got some music that was sent to me as well that we're going to deal with next week with our new artist of the week. So a lot of people like to send me music, so keep it up. Y'all know how to get to me. You can post it in the comments, send me something in the comment. Those of y'all who are friends with me on Facebook, or you can follow me or friend me on Facebook. And if you follow me on Facebook, you can send it to me. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, you can send me the songs or whatever it is that you want me to deal with. We can talk about it. This main event that we're going to deal with tonight, the power in the blood, right? This power in the blood, this came about because of a video that was sent to me. The brother sent the video to me, and he said, man, what do you think about this? Can you talk about this? And I was like, you know what, brother Michael, shout out to brother Michael, because he sent me this. So, brother Michael, I'm going to address this issue. And it was very timely because it's dealing with Yom Kippur. We just got finished dealing with Yom Kippur. We are now in Sukkot. Sukkot is also known as the Feast of Tabernacles, where we are commanded to dwell in booths or tents for 7 days. And it's really a joyous time, and we are in the midst of that now. And right before Sukkot, 5 days before Sukkot, is Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. And he sent me this last week and said, hey, can you check this out? And I looked at it and I said, well, I couldn't talk about it last week because we was finishing up the trilogy. For those of y'all that didn't get to see it, we had a trilogy on the brother TCA and all the different people in the Hebraic community and the different things that he was saying about them. And we had that going on. So I didn't want to not finish up the trilogy. So, but again, the brother sent me this video, so I said, well, so we're going to get into it. And again, it's from this rabbi called Rabbi Schneider, and he has this organization called Discovering the Jewish Jesus. And yeah. So we're going to get into this one. And hopefully you guys will like it. I'm not saying it take that much time, so we should be finished by 11. Hopefully, for those of y'all who can't stay up that late. So far we've been on for an hour. Oh, okay. So far, we only been on for an hour and 6 minutes. I don't know why I thought we was on for longer than that. All right, so we'll try to get it done soon. But if we go past our half-hour point, I'm not gonna go past the 2-hour point unless I'm right at the end and I feel like I just gotta finish it. So hopefully we'll be able to get into that. So again. Power in the blood. Power in the blood. Every time when I heard that, all I kept thinking about there is power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you? There is wonderful power in the blood. There is power, wonder working power in the blood of the Lamb. Right? Yeah, I be trying to get my singing on a little bit. Well, now we gonna see, because I tell people a lot of times people sing songs and they be so caught up with the song and so emotional with the song. And I'm like, is this song really telling the truth? Think about that. Some of these songs that people sing, not necessarily is telling the truth, but it sound good. People jazz, like it's clapping away. But, so we gonna get into that. So let's get into it. I did enough talking. Let's get into one thing for the night. It's got them little flashes of light. Trying to do this without the flashing. All right, anyway. So, no further ado. I'll go ahead and get this on. Let me get to it. Sorry. And the technical difficulties. Here we go.
The thing that separates our faith in Messiah Yeshua from every other supposed pathway.
Okay. I'm gonna let y'all know about some pet peeves of mine. I really have a problem with saying Yeshua. I really have a problem saying it's Yahshua, not Yeshua. I have a problem with that. Yeshua is more Aramaic, so I understand it's the Aramaic way of saying Yahshua. In Aramaic, they say Yeshua, so I understand that. But from a Hebraic understanding, from what I was told by different people within the community, they say, when they say, they were saying they like the idea of saying Yeshua because they say Yeshu, which means may he be cursed, right? It is their way of dissing the Meshi'ach. So I hate saying that, but it seems like the more people try to play towards this idea of trying to connect Jesus with Yahshua, they go with the Yeshua because it sort of almost look like it's spelled the same, and it gives you that same connotation to a little bit, to a degree. But I really, really don't. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I'm sorry. I understand what he's saying, but I really just don't like that. Mainly because of that. Because I know within certain communities, they like to say that name in that way because they really want to say something bad. So I really don't like doing that. I digress. So he says the thing that separates our faith in Meshi'ach Yahshua from every supposed path to God is the blood of Jesus Christ. Now, why does he say that? Think about, since I said it's a lot of things going on with that. And when a brother sent me this and said, well, what do you think, Rabbi? I said, Rabbi, what you think about this? And I was like, no. You know what the Mashiach's name is, so why are you saying Jesus? Maybe he's trying to reach people that don't know the Mashiach's name. Okay. That's what I hear. Well, Yaakov, Rosh, maybe he's saying that because, you know, he understands that some people don't know the Mashiach's name, so he's trying to show you that connection, to show you that he's talking about the same person. Okay, I give y'all that. Y'all out there that's saying that right now and saying I'm taking this a little too far with it, fine. I'll chill out. I'm going to let it go. We're going to move on.
Way to God is the blood of Jesus Christ.
All right, now. Y'all not going to like this. The Meshi'ach came for Israel. The Meshi'ach did not come to give you some kind of path that leads you to the Almighty. The Meshi'ach came for Israel. He said it himself. He came for the lost sheep of Israel to remind them to keep the Torah, because the Torah is the path that lead to the Almighty, not his blood. See, I'm starting off already letting y'all know how it's not his blood, people. I know y'all got the songs. Like I said, we've been singing those songs, power in the blood. Power. Okay, yeah. I feel you. It sounds nice to sing it. And people get so excited about it. But the power is in the Torah, people. The Torah is the power. The Torah is the power. I'm going to say, Dr. Umar just said you got to say it 3 times for people to get it. The Torah is the power. The Torah is the power. The Torah is the power. The power is in the Torah. This is the power's in. But I digress. Let's go further.
See, the Torah tells us in the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 11.
All right, so let's do this. So he says Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11, right? Now let's go back up. Sanctity of blood. Now, some of us reading this just see sanctity of blood, and we like, okay, that's it. That's what he talked about. Sanctity of the blood. There it is. He said it's all about the blood. Sanctity of what blood? Before we go to 11, let's start with verse 1. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aharon and to his sons and to the children of Israel, saying and say to them, this is the thing which Yahweh has commanded. whatever man of the house of Israel who kills an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or who kills it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, to offer an offering to Yahweh before the tabernacle of Yahweh, the guilt of bloodshed shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people. See, we could go to the verse that he's going to read and just run with it, right? Now, let's hear what he's about to say about this before I really get into what this said. Because right now we see the Torah seemingly says something way different than what he's saying. The Torah is saying, hey, if you make an offering, if you kill an ox or a lamb or a goat in the camp, so you kill it in the camp, or if you kill it outside the camp, you don't even kill it in the camp, you kill it outside the camp, and you don't bring it to the door of the tabernacle, so you don't bring it to the temple. Because remember, it's supposed to get offered in front of the door of the temple, right at the brazen altar, the altar of bronze. That's where it's supposed to get offered up at. Right there. So if you do that anywhere else other than right there, it's as if you killed a man. So it's saying killing a man is something wrong. So if this is the bad thing that is being shown, that if you do this with these animals as if you're killing a man, that's something negative. How are you trying to convince me that killing a man, as far as the Meshi'ach, is a positive thing that we're supposed to run with? Because there's power in his blood. See, with the very verse he read from the Torah, if you go back up further, you'll see that what he's saying doesn't make sense. The Almighty does not accept human sacrifice. The Almighty does not accept human sacrifice. Hold on. I want you to see me saying this big. The Almighty does not accept human sacrifice. Sorry. He don't. So when he's talking about power in the blood of the Meshi'ach, is that a metaphor or something? Or are you saying a literal blood? What are you saying, Rabbi? Because at this point, you're a rabbi. You should, if you was just a regular Christian minister, I could say, okay, he's a Christian minister. He don't know no better. But you're a rabbi. You went to the yeshiva like me. You already know. So to get up here and tell these people that it's power in the blood of a man being sacrificed to the Almighty, are you crazy? Seriously, something is wrong. And this is why different brothers and sisters from the Torah only or the Tanakh only can't roll with us because they think we believe like this guy believes. So now I got to step up for Torah and say, hold on, that's crazy. He wrong. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Oh my goodness. uh, I told some of the I told some of the brethren, I said, I don't know if y'all gonna like what I got to say. I said it. I told him, I said, look, I don't know if y'all gonna like what I got to say, but we gonna deal with it. We gonna deal with it. I already told y'all. Oh my goodness. I said, I don't know if y'all gonna like what I gotta say. Oh man. Man. All right. I don't want to be chewing on camera. Hold on. Okay, so let's get back to it. Let's hear what he was saying. Before I go there, let's say exactly what he about to say about this verse. Before I say what I was going to say, let's see what he's going to say.
That the life of the flesh is in the blood. And I've given it to you on the altar, saith Yahweh, to make an atonement for your soul.
See what I'm saying? This verse is talking about the offerings. It's not talking about no human being. It's not talking about a human being's blood atoning for our souls. It's talking about the offerings. Let's go back and see what the Torah is talking about. He just used the Torah. He said Leviticus 17:11. Right? That's what he said. Leviticus 17:11. So we just seen right here. It says, because it's trying to let us know about these animals. These are animals that are used for offering. These are the animals that are used for offering. The ox is used as an offering. The lamb is used as an offering. The goat is used as an offering. If you kill these animals and are not offering them up, in other words, during the time of the temple, if you kill these animals and you aren't offering them up, it is as if you killed a man. That means it's violated. It's something wrong. You're not supposed to kill a man. But then he's telling us about killing a man and that man's blood having power to cleanse you. When we see Torah is not saying that at all. This is not what it's talking about. Look what it says. Again, whatever man in the house of Israel who kills an ox, lamb, or goat in the camp. So in other words, you within your camp and you kill it. You wrong. Outside the camp, if you outside your community and you kill it, you're wrong. And does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle meeting to offer an offering to Yahweh before the tabernacle of Yahweh. The guilt of bloodshed shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood. And that man shall be cut off from among his people. He has shed blood as if he's killed a man. He shed blood. Look at what it said. I'm not making this. It says it right there. The guilt of bloodshed shall be imputed on that man. It says he shall be cut off from among his people to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, and they may bring them to Yahweh at the door of the tabernacle meeting. And the priests, the tabernacle to the priests, and offer them as a shalomim or peace offering to it's talking about animals. It's not talking about offering up a human being. It says, and a priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of Yahweh at the door of the tabernacle meeting and burn the fat for a sweet aroma to Yahweh. They shall no more offer their sacrifices to demons, after whom they played the harlot. This shall be a statute forever for them throughout their generations. Also, you shall say to them, whatever man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who offers burnt offering or sacrifice, and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle meeting to offer it to Yahweh, that man shall be cut off from his people. Now we get closer to what he said. So far, it's still not talking about people being offered up as sacrifices and anything about their blood. It's talking about animals. Next, whatever man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who eats any blood. So now it's talking about the eating of the blood. So first you got to make sure you offer the blood up on the altar, and you got to bring the animals for offering. Now, you might say, well, what if they wanted to eat the different meat or what have you? What were they to do? During those times, they offered that up as an offering, and they had a shalomim offering, which meant they would invite everybody over to have a big party, and they would offer up this animal, which was either a bull or a lamb or a goat, and the family would feast and eat. Believe it or not, our diet during this time was more vegetable based than anything else. We didn't just eat meat all the time. Like nowadays, our diet is so changed. We eat. You can't say you eating food if you ain't eating meat. Go there and say you eating food and you not eating no meat with it. They'll look at you like you crazy. Sirs, go ahead and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and ain't no meat in it. They're like, what you mean you eating that ain't no meat in it? You're not really eating food. Cause in our mind, you gotta have some meat to go along with everything else. It's part of the balanced meal. That wasn't how it was back then. When you offered up a bull or something like that, it was a festive time. It wasn't something that you just did randomly. Nowadays, oh, you just gotta eat some animals. So he tells them that, and this goes back to slaughtering an animal kosherly. When you slaughter an animal kosherly, when you slaughter an animal according to kosher law, you have to drain all of the blood out of the animal. Also, when you cook the animal, you have to cook it where there's no blood in it. Can't eat a rare animal. I know y'all like to get your steaks rare and medium rare and all this other stuff, but as if it's blood still in it, you are breaking this law right here of consuming blood. If it's blood still in it, you breaking this law. It says, whatever man in the house of Israel or of his strangers who dwell among you who eats any blood. So he's letting you know, I don't want you to eat any blood. That's what this is pertaining to. I don't want you to eat any blood. If you do, I'm going to set my face against you. And the person who eats blood, I'm going to cut him off from among your people. Why? For the life of the flesh is in the blood. The life of the flesh, the life of the animal is its blood. And I have given it to you upon the altar. In other words, I'm telling you to take this animal's blood and put it on an altar. Why? Because this animal's blood, not a human being's blood, as he's using it, this animal's blood, I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls, not the Rebbe's blood. He's usually trying to say that the Rebbe's blood. This is not talking about the Rebbe's blood. This is talking about an animal, the ox, the lamb, or the goat. That's what it's talking about right there. I've given you that blood to make atonement for your soul. Therefore I say to the children of Israel, and he left this part out, no one among you shall eat blood, nor shall any stranger. So this is talking about the converts, the people who want to be amongst us, even the strangers who dwell among you. They not supposed to eat any blood neither. This is not saying he's taking it out of context. This is not saying that there's power in the blood and the blood does. No, this is telling us not to mess with the blood. That's what they're saying. Let's get it clear. That's what this is saying. All right, so let's go back to his video. So we saying that he was off on that. Let's keep going.
For it's the blood, by reason of its life, that makes atonement.
See, the way he's saying it is it's the blood of the Rebbe. Right? That's what he's trying to say. It's the Rebbe's blood that brings atonement. And that's how he's trying to say it, right? It's the blood of the Rebbe that brings atonement. And him. But that is not what that verse is talking about. And he is taking it out of context. It's not what it's talking about. He is taking it completely out of context. He's taking it out of context. It's not what that's talking about at all. Let's keep going.
We are focusing today on the holiest day in God's sacred calendar called Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement.
Now, some say that it is the holiest day. Some argue that the Shabbat is the holiest day on the calendar. That's why when you get to the holy days, before it starts talking about any holy day, the first thing it talks about is the Shabbat. That's what it does. Before it talks about any holy day. Any holy day. The first thing it does is talks about the Shabbat. And the first thing it does, it says, okay, let's talk about the Shabbat. That's the first thing. Before it talk about any other holy days, the first thing it talks about is the Shabbat. So, let's finish hearing what Rabbi Schneider has to say.
I'm going to the book of Leviticus, chapter number 23, and I'm reading verse number 26. The Lord spoke to Moshe, or Moses, saying, on exactly the 10th day of the 7th month is the day of atonement.
All right. And that's factual. So you rolling with that. Just want to make sure I got this in. All right. So we rolling with that.
"10 days from the Feast of Trumpets that happens on the first day of the 7th month on God's sacred calendar called the month of Tishrei, 10 days into the month lands on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement."
All right. He is correct on this. The first day of Tishrei is called Yom Teruah. Yom Teruah is the day of blowing trumpets. We also call it the Feast of Trumpets. That starts off the 10 days of Av, which brings us to the 10th day of Tishrei, or the 7th month, which is Yom Kippur. So he's absolutely correct. The Torah says to do it that way. That's how it's done. So he actually is correct on this. So let's keep going.
Yom is the Hebrew word for day. Kippur is the day of covering.
All right, so he says Yom is the Hebrew word for day. Kippur means covering. Now, Kippur could mean covering, but also Kippur means Kippur means atonement. So let's look at that. Look at that. He says Yom means day, Kippur means covering. Right? Let's actually go to the text to see. All right. Go to either. Notice. Now, this is what I pointed out to y'all. Even though it get into the first, it says these are the feast days, right? The first day it says is the Shabbat. The sages say the reason why it does it because the Shabbat is the most holiest day. So we say everybody normally get it twisted and say it's all about Yom Kippur, but it's actually the Shabbat that is the holiest day. That's the debate that's going on. So let's go right here where it says Yom Kippur. So right here is Yom Kippur. So we're going to look at it to the interlinear. I want you guys to see it. All right, so right here, let me close this out. Got Yom. Yom is right here. Yom means day, as he says. Kippurim. Let's click on this to see what Kippurim means. Now we see it says atonement, right? Now, Kippur means atonement. So Kippur means atonement. So now we see right there, it says again, the definition is atonement, atonement. So Kippur means atonement. I'm trying to see where he get covering from. Trying to see if it's another word that means covering. So let me see. Sometimes kofer, which is basically spelled just about the same way, but that means village. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I'm not saying where he got covering from. Just looking at the concordance. Looking at the concordance, I don't see where he got covering from. Where it's clearly saying that it means atonement. Even a Brown driver Briggs is still saying atonement. Yes, I don't know where he got covering from. Unless he's, I don't know where he got covering from. So for right now, I don't know if I can roll with that covering part. Because I don't know where he got it from to be able to say, okay, yeah, covering. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
It's Yom Kippur, the day of covering.
And I'm like, is him changing this trying to change the meaning of it? All right. Let's keep going.
The day that the Lord covers the sins of his people through a blood atonement.
Now, Yom Kippur is so much more than this. If you guys were to go to the Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation's page on Facebook, y'all will see a message on there from me where I did the message this year from Yom Kippur, where I broke down everything about Yom Kippur. And one thing that I want to tell you is the blood aspect of the animals was not the biggest part. Yes, the blood aspect from the animals, not a human being, the animals had to be brought into the altar and certain things had to be done, but also that animal had to be slaughtered a certain way. The animal had to be burned a certain way. And even though you might have did all the stuff right with the blood, if the animal wasn't slaughtered or burned in the way that it was supposed to be done, it will be null and void. Everything has to be done the right way. Not just, oh, we got some blood, so everything good. That's not how it works. And also, what brought atonement for the people was the scapegoat, which was kept alive. And it may be why the Almighty used the scapegoat or the goat that was sent to Azazel. Right? If that blood from that goat was not brought into the temple at all. So some say that they used to chase the goat and make them fall off the cliff. That goat is what carried all the sins of the people away. So he's not telling a full story. He's focusing on this idea of blood and human blood, and it's wrong. And that's not the full story of Yom Kippur. But you teaching people this, and then they're going to go out and say, I know the whole story of Yom Kippur is all about the blood. And people who know going to look and say, what are you talking about? That ain't no whole story of Yom Kippur. That it's all about the blood. What are you talking about? If we listen to Rabbi Schneider here, it's all about the blood. That's the story of Yom Kippur. It's all about the blood.
Now, during the days that the Hebrew scriptures were written, before Jesus came, every year the high priest would go into the Holy of Holies, the most sacred space in the earth.
Now, I can attribute to this. He say like he about to break some things down. So let's go there. This part is good. Let's go there.
That first existed in the tabernacle and then later was in the temple once the...
Now, let's go back and look at that scene. All right, now, this is a model with a tent of meeting, right? You had this fence set around. All the people would gather around here and watch. They will watch the Kohen HaGadol perform a ceremony that he only can do one time out the year. He only can do this one time out the year, just once, right? So he would change his clothes at least 7 times, I believe, right? I can't remember offhand, but he changed his clothes a lot. Right here, this is the brazen altar. This is the altar of bronze. This is the ramp that he will walk up. So they will offer the animal right here by this altar. He will walk up to the altar with the blood of this animal and put the blood of the animal in it. Not human blood, the blood of the animals. In this case, it was the blood of the goat, because it was 2 goats. One goat was kept alive, other goat was offered. It was the blood of the goat and the blood of the bull or ox, right? Then he would take it into the Holy of Holies, which is right here somewhere within this segment. Right here was another curtain, and behind that curtain was the Holy of Holies where the Ark of the Testimony and all that good stuff was, with the mercy seat. And he would do a lot of different things with the blood in there, right? So this is the concept that I want y'all to really get what's happening, but it didn't just stop with the blood. Once he did that with that blood, that wasn't the end of the ceremony. It wasn't, oh, I did all this stuff with the blood, everything good now. No. He had to come out. He had to confess all the sins of the nations on top of this live goat that was sent out with a man with a stern hand who took it out to Azazel, who took this goat out, and the goat became known as the scapegoat.
Later was in the temple. Once the tabernacle entered the promised land, the tabernacle was built into a permanent structure called the temple. And in the very back of the temple, or the tabernacle, was a sacred space called the Holy of Holies. Mm-hmm. Inside the sacred space was an object called the Ark of the Covenant. Mm-hmm. It was laid over with gold. And inside the Ark of the Covenant were the 10 Commandments, the tablets that the Lord wrote on with his finger that contained the words that shaped Western culture and the world's morality. And on Yom Kippur, the high priest would bring in the blood of a bull and a goat. He would then take that blood and pour it.
Everything I just said. Everything I just said. Let's keep it going. So far, he's on point. We gonna see where he drifts off somewhere else. But so far, so good.
On top of the Ark of the Covenant, where the 10 Commandments were housed. And then when the Lord saw the blood on top of the Ark of the Covenant, which the New Testament refers to in the book of Hebrews as the mercy seat. In other words, the top of the Ark of the Covenant where the blood was poured was called the mercy seat. When the Lord saw the blood.
All right, now let me give you some insight on that. The reason why they called it the mercy seat wasn't just because it was on top of the ark. The cherubim, who wings touched and the other wings spread up. The way the wings touched and the way the other wings spread up, it was set up like a throne. So it gave the idea that this was the throne of the Almighty right there. And that's why the Almighty said he comes and he sits between the cherubim. He sits on the wings, on the backs of these cherubim. That's why in one prophecy it says about the Almighty riding on the cherubim, right? It's just that's the idea that we get from that. That's why they call it the mercy seat.
Blood poured out, he overlooked the sins of Israel for the year.
Now, the blood that was brought into that part that he's talking about wasn't about overlooking those sins for no year. It was about cleansing the temple itself. That holy of holies that he's talking about became contaminated because of all the sins of Israel. The altar outside had to be atoned for as well, because it also became contaminated because of all the sins of Israel. That's what the Torah says. Not that, he put some blood over it so everything was all right. You taking all of it out of context and you belittling and making light of what the Almighty is saying when you explain it in such an elementary way.
That was simply this ritual that took place year after year on Yom Kippur, where the high priest brought in the blood. That was simply a shadow of what would ultimately accomplish the salvation of God's people through the forgiveness of their sin through the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. That's
again, that is not what was being taken, excuse me, I can't even get it out. That is not what's taking place at that moment. And I feel like he's making light of what actually took place. He's trying to make it like, it just was this. It just was that. No, it was more than this and it was more than that. I can't take that, it just was this, or it just was that. It was actually more than that and more than that. I can't take that that's what it was. Because that's basically how he's carrying it. He's basically saying, it just was this, or it just was that. No, it wasn't just this or just that. What are you talking about? Right? What is going on right now? So I'm going to go ahead and let him talk a little more. We almost finished.
why at Passover, the last meal that Jesus celebrated with his disciples before going to the cross, Jesus took the Passover wine And he said to his disciples, this is the blood of the covenant shed for you for the forgiveness of your sins.
Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this now. He says, Matthew. We gotta look behind him, because so far he been leading us down the wrong path. He said 26. He said 26. All right, let's look at what it says. And as they were eating, Yahshua took the bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to his Talmudim, and said, take, eat, this is my body. Now, what's that his body? Come on now. Was that his body? We gotta make it make sense, people. They are eating a Seder, what we eat every year for Pesach. He took a piece of matzah and he broke it. He said, take, eat, this is my body. Was that his body? No. He was trying to give us a metaphor or give us an understanding about something. He was not telling us that there was no transmigration or whatever, transfiguration or whatever the Catholics call it, where that bread turns into his body. It's a metaphor, people. Come on now. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer, superstition is not the way. I'm going to say that whenever we get superstitious on something, I got to bring that out. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer. Take, eat, this is my body. It's not meaning that the bread is literally his body. It's bread. He's trying to give us an understanding about something through the bread. Some people will look at it, and if we look at the matzah nowadays, we see how the matzah is pierced and has stripes on it. And we can go back and look at other verses that talks about that and says this is why he used it to represent this, that, and the other. Whatever it was, he was basically saying that he's going to die. He's going to become a martyr. That's what this is all about. It's not saying that the body is the bread. Is the bread. What are y'all talking about? Then he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them. Drink from of it, all of you. For this is my blood. For this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Now, this does not mean that his blood brings about the remission of sin. What are you talking about? He's trying to get us to understand his martyrdom and what it's going to mean. And he's commemorating it through the Pesach. Why does he call the wine blood? We know many times within prophetic language, whenever you talk about blood, they use grapes or wine to make it. Let's say when it says the Almighty is treading through the wine press, saying that that's how he's going to go and take out these people. He's not saying these people is literally the wine press and all this other stuff. Come on now. We got to understand prophetic language. We got to understand metaphors. The Meshi'ach spoke to them in parables all the time, so that regular people could not understand what he was talking about. Let us not forget this. He says it clearly in the text. Wait a minute, you might don't believe me. You might don't believe me. Let me see. Where I think it's right here. Is it there? Oh, this is when he went to speak to them privately. Hold on. I want to show y'all this. I want to show you this. Some people thought, oh, he spoke in parables because he wanted them to understand. He wanted them to understand. Okay, that's why it was. Well, let's see what he says about why he spoke in parables. And the Talmudino, the disciples came and said to him, why do you speak to them in parables? He answered and said, because it's been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You have been given been afforded this understanding. You have been given an opportunity to have this grasp or this knowledge or wisdom on these different things, but it wasn't given to them because it was given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. This is why he speaks in parables. So he's constantly speaking in parables. So you hear him speaking in a parable, you hear him saying things that you can't understand, and you don't know why he's saying it. And as he's doing this and saying this, you sit back and you hear it, and you say to yourself, oh, he really meant this, that, and other. No. You might don't even understand what it means. That's why he says, he who has ears, let him hear. The Meshi'ach was not out there openly for everybody just to, oh yeah, we just understand everything about him. No, you don't. I don't know why this is still saying 5 when it should be saying 26. All right. So look at what it says. They eat in Passover. This is the Seder. And he begins to give them these points, or begins to give them, break down this stuff where he's telling them some deep stuff. But he's using the wine, he's using the bread to tell a story. He says, but I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until the day I drink it anew in my Father's kingdom. So clearly he's letting them know, as he's telling them this story, that this wine is representing his blood. And he's not saying his blood is going to be used as no covering to cover sin and all this other stuff. He's talking about his death. What he's talking about right here is called the death of the righteous. The death of the righteous brings atonement. This is something that's known in Judaism, that's always been spoken of and known. This is what he's speaking of. It's not talking something about he's going to be a living a offering. And actually his blood and all this other stuff. That is called superstition. And this guy is playing on it with everybody. He's playing on this idea of superstition. He's wrong for that. What time is it? I think I done ran out of time. I didn't think I will run out of time with this. Let me hurry up.
He was tying it back to Yom Kippur, and he was pointing to the fact that his blood.
He was tying it back to Yom Kippur. I'll give you that. But it wasn't in a sense that you saying. Well, let me show you how he was tying it back to Yom Kippur. I'm going to give him that. But he don't know that I'm giving it to him or why I'm getting it. He's talking about the blood, the blood, the blood. That's not how he's bringing it back to Yom Kippur. Let me show y'all how he's bringing it back to Yom Kippur. For those of y'all who heard the message, y'all already know where I'm going. Go to Leviticus chapter 16, I believe it is. This is when Yom Kippur is introduced. The first thing it says is, now Yahweh spoke to Moshe after the death of the two sons of Aharon, when they offered profane a strange fire before Yahweh and died. Now, these two guys were righteous guys. And they died because of a horrible mistake that they made. But these guys were righteous. Even though they died because of a horrible mistake that they made, that did not take away their righteousness. These guys were righteous. I need y'all to understand that. The sages point to this and say, why do they talk about the death of the righteous before atonement? Right? The sages say, why do they talk about the death of the righteous before we talk about Yom Kippur? Because just as Yom Kippur brings atonement, so does the death of the righteous. That's what they say. Just as Yom Kippur brings atonement, so does the death of the righteous. The death of the righteous brings atonement. That's how he's bringing it back to that. He's not bringing it back to Yom Kippur by saying, oh, my blood. That's your understanding. That's not what the Meshi'ach is saying. And by you saying that, you tying it in with paganistic things that make people run when they hear us talking about the Rebbe. They automatically think we tied in with this paganism. And you being a rabbi should know better. So I'm going to be hard on you. You're a rabbi. You should know better. You should not be sitting here telling these people this. But you are.
Blood would once and for all solve humanity's problem of sin. This is what separates your faith in Jesus from every other faith in the world. There is no other message in the earth that promises forgiveness for sin through a blood atonement.
And you're right. Rabbi Yahshua is not promising forgiveness of sin through no blood atonement. He's telling you come back to Torah. His whole mission was to tell people to come back to Torah. His mission wasn't to say, hey, guys, just believe in me and I'm going to die and you can use my blood. And that wasn't his mission. He didn't send his disciples around saying, tell everybody one day I'm going to die and they can use my blood. He did not say that. His whole mission was about Torah. Keep the Torah. Do the Torah. So how you change his mission and say it was about blood? See how we fall short from the mission of the Rebbe? The Rebbe mission was not to say, hey guys, I'm going to die. Believe in me so when I die, you can take my blood and you believe in my blood going to come. No. He does not say that nowhere in the text would you hear him saying that. That verse he's using to try to get him to say that, he's taking it out of context.
All the other religions of the world somehow create a philosophy in which if you're a good enough person, you'll go to heaven. Christianity, beloved one, teaches no such thing.
All right, so what is that telling you? Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Hold on. Let me let you see me. Come out of her, my people. If it's teaching that through the blood of a human being you can be saved, come out of her, my people. You are being deceived. He got you believing in things that you don't understand and you suffering. Superstition ain't the way. Come out of her, my people. What is going on here? The Meshi'ach did not teach that. He did not teach that. He did not teach that. Oh my goodness. Let me hurry. I'm trying to hurry up, people. I know y'all ready for this to end.
Our faith teaches us that the wages of sin is death and every man is guilty of sin. That no man goes to heaven because his good deeds supposedly outweighed his bad deeds. No, the Bible says the soul that sins, it shall die.
And he taking stuff out of context. Of course the soul that sin going to die. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. Oh, he's taking these verses out of context, people. Do y'all hear how he's taking these verses out of context? This is why people like Rabbi Singer think they can jump out and say crazy stuff. Because they talked about people like him. This is who Rabbi Singer, whenever he sees anybody that believes in a Rabbi, he feel like he can just come and be disrespectful to you because he think you're going to be saying the same thing this guy's saying.
That there's no one on the planet that is righteous before a holy God because of their outstanding lifestyle. Rather, what the New Testament teaches is that all men are guilty before their Creator.
Oh my goodness gracious alive. Now he's basically dealing with the letters of Apostle Shaul. Apostle Shaul had to find a way to make it relevant to the Goyim because he understood the Meshi'ach came for Israel. But now that the Goyim or the Gentiles was coming in, how do we make this relevant to them? How do we make this relevant to the Gentiles? Okay, well, the Meshi'ach came to redeem Israel, but we can also say he came for them because, hey, y'all out here in sin. But he still don't say that the blood going to just do this, that, and the other for you. You're taken out of context. Oh, my goodness.
Because of not only the things that they've done, but because of the things that we've thought and the words that we've said. Those things that have proceeded from our life that are not in harmony with God's Spirit. Man is separated from God and guilty before Him. This is why Paul...
This is philosophy. This philosophy. Where you get this from? This is all philosophy. He talk about not being a philosopher. This philosophy. This philosophy right here, where you get this from?
Paul, in his letter to the Romans, begins his gospel by explaining that man is guilty and that there's only one remedy, and that's the blood of Jesus.
And he don't say that. He don't say that nowhere. Sorry.
Yom Kippur is the foreshadow in the Hebrew Scriptures that's pointing to Jesus.
Oh my goodness gracious alive. Are you serious right now? He said, Is he serious right now? Yo, come on, Aki. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. You can't be serious.
That's why much of the book of Hebrews and the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament, tells us that Jesus fulfilled this holy day called, once again, Yom Kippur.
The book of Hebrews try to break down different things about Yom Kippur, but it's not saying what you're saying. You are conflicting the superstitious stuff on this, which is really, really out of order right now.
The blood of Jesus is the answer.
It does not say that. It does not say that.
That's what the book of Revelation tells us, that those that are going to heaven go to heaven because they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony.
All right. Oh my goodness. Let's see this. Let's see this. Right. Let's go to Revelations 12. So Revelation 12:11. Okay, Revelations 12:11. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives unto death. So number one, Revelations is very, very metaphorical, very, very, book, prophetic imagery book that has different symbols and stuff in it. Now, the blood of the Lamb does not mean literally the Meshi'ach's blood. Number one, you gotta know who is the Lamb. If they breaking down the Lamb in here, they talked about this Lamb and they give you this imagery of this Lamb because it's metaphorically talking about what the Meshi'ach did as far as being a martyr, saying that he died, right? So it's dealing metaphorically. You are taking it out of context. These people that overcame by the blood of the Lamb is talking about these Israelites. It's not talking about Christians. It's talking about Israelites. And they overcame because they believed in the Meshi'ach, that he was righteous and he died. That's called the death of the righteous. The same thing like we do with Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, and we say how they died for us. Did they literally die? Did they literally say, I'm going to stand up here and just die for them and be an offering? And no, they was martyred. They were killed while they were fighting for us, the same way the Rebbe was. You taking this out of context because people are speaking poetically and they using different metaphorical imagery in their language, and you're taking this out of context to try to make it mean something that is not saying. It's not saying that. Let's go back. He almost done, guys. He almost done.
This is why Jesus said, unless you eat my flesh, receive me into your life. And he said, drink my blood. You have no life in yourself.
Again, he was speaking metaphorically. Oh my goodness, that's like somebody say, I'm so hungry I can eat a horse. Do they really want to eat a horse? No, they just saying it. That's how hungry they are. They not saying go bring them a horse, they going to eat it. Okay, let's let them move.
I want to say again, beloved, do not be deceived. I know that
Please
you probably
don't.
met many people in your
Please
life that are
don't
not
be
believers in
deceived.
Jesus. They're not Christian people.
I'm
and you
not.
look at them and you think, but look how good of a person they are. Look how
Thank
caring they are. Look
Thank
how
you.
beautiful they are.
Thank
Look
you.
how good of a spirit they have.
I appreciate
And you
you.
think, God wouldn't send them to hell. We might even think they're a better person than I am.
Then we got he knows. I mean, he should know all this. What does he mean send you to hell? What are you talking about? Sheol? Sheol means the grave. You talking about Gehenna? What are you talking about? Gehenna talking about the end of this. You talking about the final judgment? That's what you're talking about? What are you talking about? I feel like he's using Christian superstition, mixing it with some Hebrewism and some Israelite and Jewishism, and then he throws it back out there. And he's the reason why people like Rabbi Singer try to come for us. And then I gotta come and straighten him out and let him know he don't know what he's talking about. Oh my goodness, gracious alive.
We might think, wow, they're a better person than most of the Christians that I know.
Thank you.
But I want you to know, beloved ones, there is no way to heaven but through the blood of Jesus.
That is a lie. I know I'm gonna get some feedback for that. I know people gonna be mad about this one, baby boy. Be mad about this one. That is a lie. Oh my goodness gracious alive, yo. Stop. Oh my goodness, that's such a lie. Oh, I know my Christian family right now is so upset with me. They probably say, we done with him. We want to trade him out. That is not true. There's no way to heaven but through the blood of Jesus. What are you talking about? That is not true. Oh my goodness.
And what we learn through studying the Hebrew Bible, in particularly today, the Day of Atonement, is that no man can stand in God's presence blameless outside of a blood atonement. This is why, again, my favorite scripture in the Hebrew Bible, Leviticus 17:11, the life of the flesh, the Lord saith, is in the blood.
Yes, everybody's life is in the blood. All of our life is in our blood.
And I've given it to you on the altar.
He gave us the blood of those animals on the altar. Those blood of those animals.
To make an atonement for your soul. For it's the blood, by reason of its life, that makes atonement. Without
Yes, but it's not talking about human blood.
the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sin.
But it's not talking about human blood. You keep missing that part. It's not talking about human blood.
So regardless of what I see with my eyes, when I see moral people that are not believers in Jesus, I don't allow myself to be deceived. I don't allow myself to think, well, maybe you don't have to believe in Jesus to go to heaven.
You don't.
Maybe all paths lead to the same place.
I can't say all paths lead to the same place, but what I can say, but Israel, you gotta come back to the Torah. All this just believe in this, that, and the other, that's a lie that's going to get you caught up. It's all about the Torah. It's all about the Torah.
Whenever I start thinking thoughts like that, if I'm tempted because I see good people, caring people, good neighbors, I always bring myself back to the blood of Jesus. And I say, no, the blood of Yeshua is the only answer.
No, it's not. And there we have it, people. I did not mean for the screen to go blank like that. Hold on, let me rewind it back. And there we have it, people. This is Rabbi Schneider. He went through this situation again. Brother Michael brought this to my attention. I would not have watched this or even came to this, but I'm happy that he brought it to my attention. So now we probably gonna look at more of his things, as I'm gonna look at more of other people's stuff, because I want to know what else are they telling people. Because this idea of this blood thing, he is completely wrong. Completely wrong. He's looking at this strictly from a Christian point of view. He's not looking at this from a Torah point of view at all, which is wrong. And it's detrimental, and it can lead people astray, especially when you got us thinking the Meshi'ach is saying stuff that he never said. When you got us believing things that the Meshi'ach supposedly said that he never said, and you running around trying to convince us that that's what he said, you wrong, man. You are wrong. So, again, I'm thank all of y'all for hanging with me tonight. I went over. It's actually going on 12 o'clock. I went over almost a half hour into the program, but I wanted to finish this out. It wasn't enough video left for it to be a part 2, so I said I'm not going to make it into a part 2. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for logging on and hanging in there. For those of y'all who didn't get to finish watching it all live, but are watching it again on a replay, thank you as well. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you aren't a subscriber, subscribe. Subscribe. You know, y'all subscribe to all kind of things. Gossip things, celebrities, whatever. This is about Torah. This is about bringing knowledge and understanding of the Almighty to you. Subscribe. If you like to disagree with me and want to argue against me, subscribe so you can see even more why you don't like what I'm saying out my mouth. If you like what I'm saying out my mouth, subscribe even more and share it. Subscribe and share it. Like the video. You know, do all that good stuff. So we can, last week I said I was going to try to start a slogan, make Torah great again. My uncle said, no, no, Torah always been great. So you can't say make Torah great again. And I said, you know what, Unc, you right. You know, never forget it. My uncle Kafer told me that. He said, no, so you can't say make Torah great again. I'm like, okay, well, make Israel great again, right? Make Israel great again. Let's make Israel great again. Let's make ourselves great again by teaching Torah so we can cling to Torah and not get caught up with lies about the blood. Is there power in the blood? No. Not in the sense that he's talking about. No. What he's talking about, no. Sorry. So again, I thank all of y'all for logging on and watching. My name is Rosh Ya'acob ben Avraham. I am a rabbi at Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation, where we focus on Torah knowledge and understanding. And again, I'm so happy that you guys are going through this journey with me. Again, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend, so that we can get this thing going. And And I will talk to each and every one of you guys next week, where I will have some new information. I don't know if somebody else is going to give me something to watch or not. I will see over the weekend if anything pops up. But if not, then I will just come up with something. Again, if you didn't get to see the current of the month for September, check it out. It's kind of funny. It's a funny one. And I believe you will enjoy it. And again, love and appreciate you all. And I bid you all shalom. Shema Israel.